Welcome to Medicineview. In this video, we discuss about Helicobacter pylori, which is responsible for peptic ulcer in humans. Now, Helicobacter is a curved, gram-negative, rod-shaped bacilli, and it very commonly colonizes the stomach of human beings. It contains 4 to 8 flagella which are unipolar. Unipolar means only at one end. And Helicobacter pylori is often associated with gastric carcinoma and peptic ulcer. Now we will discuss the pathogenesis which is caused by H. pylori. Suppose this is the stomach and inside which Helicobacter pylori enters. It contains 4 to 8 flagella which is responsible for its highly motile nature, and this enables it to survive in the highly viscous stomach mucosa. Helicobacter pylori produces urease enzyme which converts urea into ammonia, and ammonia will balance out some of the gastric acid which will cause rise in pH, and this lessened gastric acidity enables H. pylori to survive in the stomach. It also produces adhescence which enables it to stick to the mucosal epithelium. Now we will discuss the pathological changes which are induced by Helicobacter pylori. So H. pylori produces vacuolating cytotoxin which will cause formation of vacuoles in the cytoplasm of epithelial cells. It also produces cytotoxin associated gene A which will inject into the host cell and allow certain modulation of the host cell metabolism, including certain morphological changes, production of proto-oncogenes, and release of cytokines from the gastric epithelial cells. Now these proto-oncogenes are expressed and this may lead to gastric carcinoma. Now let's discuss molecular mimicry exhibited between lipopolysaccharide of H. pylori and Lewis blood group antigen on gastric parietal cells. Now both of these lipopolysaccharide of H. pylori and the Lewis blood group antigen on the gastric parietal cells, they are kind of similar or identical, which will cause induction of autoantibodies which cross react. It considers the Lewis blood group antigen as lipopolysaccharide and destroys it too, and this causes chronic active gastritis due to continuous destruction of the epithelial mucosa surface. Now H. pylori also has certain lipopolysaccharides which will cause inhibition of glycosylation and sulfation of the gastric mucus, which will impede its protective function, and this predisposes the stomach epithelium to the gastric acid, which is destructive in nature and can cause ulceration of the epithelium, and this may lead to peptic ulcers. Now we will discuss certain risk factors which predisposes a person to peptic ulcer disease. Number 1, we have smoking. It increases the risk of both ulcers and carcinoma. And diets which are high in salt and preservatives, they also play an important role in development of cancer in the stomach. Also, the diets which are low in antioxidants may be responsible for the gastric carcinoma. So to avoid this, we need to avoid smoking, and we need to take a diet which is high in vitamin C and antioxidants. So this will reduce the risk of carcinoma considerably. Now we will discuss urea breath test, which is a popular diagnostic test used to detect H. pylori. Now we ask the patient to drink a solution of urea labeled with radioactive carbon, and then he is asked to blow into a tube or a bag. If H. pylori is present, it will produce urease, and this will hydrolyze the urea into carbon dioxide, which is radioactive, and that is detected in breath samples. Now the treatment regimen for H. pylori infections. Number one, we have the first line triple drug therapy, which is the most popular one. This therapy includes 3 drugs. We include number 1 omeprazole, number 2 clarithromycin, and number 3 we either include metronidazole or amoxicillin, either one of them. And this will be given for 7 to 14 days. Now if the first line triple drug therapy fails, we have an alternative. It's called the second line quadruple drug therapy. And this includes 4 drugs: omeprazole plus metronidazole plus tetracyclines plus colloidal bismuth sulfate, which is given for 14 days. So the Helicobacter pylori kind of looks sad in here because it's being treated with antibiotics. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe and comment and let me know you liked it or not.